Gratitude is the response, your response, when you acknowledge that someone has helped you in some way. And it can change your life and it can change the lives of the people that you spend your time with, the people that are around you, even when you're going through tough times. We'll talk about that today. Let's talk about 5 practical ways that you can embrace an attitude of gratitude so that you can be grateful even when you're going through tough times. Hi, I'm Diane LaFoon, and I believe with all my heart that you can choose joy. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know one good thing about today, one good thing about your day today. Tell us in the comments below. There's so much going on in the world right now that can be a burden on our shoulders between what's going on in Afghanistan, what's going on with the pandemic, what's going on with earthquakes and hurricanes. There's just a lot to weigh us down. And I do believe that even in the worst of times, you can choose to have an attitude of gratitude. There is so much happening, and when I will tell you that when I hear of a hurricane, like this Hurricane Ida that has just come through, it takes me back to August of 1992 when I was living in Miami at the time, and I went through Hurricane Andrew. It was terrifying. It was just absolutely terrifying. At the time, I went farther south to spend the night at a friend's house because we knew it was headed for us. And we all thought that would be safer than where I was living at the time. And so I stayed at a friend's, and I think it was like 4:30 in the morning. We all ended up, there were 4 of us in the bathroom, in a room that was in the middle of the house that was no windows or anything. And we, with all our might, held the bathroom door in order to not get blown away by Hurricane Andrew. Like I said, it was absolutely terrifying. One of the most challenging experiences of my life, yet one of the most rewarding experiences of my life as well. Because afterwards, when we came out of that bathroom, which was pretty much the only room standing in their house after the hurricane had gone through, the whole front of the house was gone. It was wiped out. It ended up being worse than where I actually lived, where Hurricane Andrew hit worse. And I couldn't even find my way home because things were so strange, so everything was knocked down. There's no street signs, no trees, no markings of knowing where you were going to find your way home. It was just the weirdest experience of my life. But it was also so rewarding to see how people came around together and helped each other out. I remember at the time I was working and driving through different schools all across Dade County. And so I was one of the only people in the community that actually had a cell phone. I know everyone has one now, but this was 1992, and it was really odd that I had this cell phone, but I had it because I was on the road a lot and going from school to school, working with teenagers there. And so it was my pleasure, my privilege to, first of all, be able to call my family in Michigan and say, hey, I'm okay, but also to lend my cell phone because it was the only way to communicate at that time to people in the community to help them let their family and loved ones know that they were okay as well. I was glad that I could be a part of our evening. It was almost like an evening block party every night of the week because we would kind of pool our resources, what food we had. I had tons of canned tuna of all things and canned vegetables and things like that I just kind of added to the block party each evening, and we would all gather around and eat and enjoy each other and talk about the day. And every day I worked for Youth for Christ, and our team at Youth for Christ, all of the staff members each day would find a house or a location where we could go help clean up. And that was our job, our work for months. It seems like it was quite a long time. And so during the day, we would work side by side. During the evening, we would gather and have meals together. And then we were kind of camping out all together, too. We would go and sleep in rooms all together wherever there was a place that we could find dry, safe place to have. So like I said, I was devastated. I was terrified. It was challenging, but also there were ways to find to be grateful and have an attitude of gratitude because we had a cell phone, we had canned tuna, we had some dry places to go and find rest in the evenings. And, when you live with a grateful heart, when you live with an attitude of gratitude, there's a remarkable sense of peace no matter your circumstances. If you have this practice in your life, and I'm going to talk to you today about 5 practical ways that you can practice an attitude of gratitude and embrace that so that when you do go through difficult times, you can find a way to be gratitude and have that peace that comes along with it. So number one, spend time each day being grateful. Like I said, gratitude is a response to someone acknowledging something that they've done to help you. And that could be a loved one, a stranger, even a friend, or it could be God that you're thankful to for something that He's provided in your life. And I would suggest that you block out time each day where you either first thing in the morning or on your lunch break or before you go to bed at night, you talk about or think about 3 things that you are have an attitude of gratitude for, that you have a grateful heart for. You can write those things down. You can say a prayer about them. You can put them in your phone. Do something to acknowledge that you are grateful for those 3 things. You know, it could be for a coworker who makes you laugh or told you a great joke that day. It could be for the beautiful weather you're enjoying if you have beautiful weather where you are. It could be that you're grateful for your home and maybe you have a reliable car. You can be grateful for that. You can be grateful for your neighbors, friendly, helpful neighbors who come alongside you when you need help with anything. You know, the goal is to be in the habit of constantly, daily noticing those things that you can appreciate so that you get that attitude of gratitude going on for when you're in the tough times too. For me, it's my morning prayer time that when I'm laying in bed, before I even put my feet on the floor, I try to express my gratitude to God for the way He provides for me and for the people in my life as well. So you want to constantly notice those things and make mindful note of them each and every day. Number 2 is to say thank you all the time. Say thank you, say thank you, say thank you. It's kind of a lost art in our world. People don't say thank you enough anymore. And I even find myself saying, oh, wait, I need to say thank you for that. We need to be grateful. Not only we receive big blessings, but we need to cultivate this appreciation in our lives, even when, somebody holds the door open for you when you walk into a store, or the cashier helps you at the store, or when you enjoy a good meal. Be thankful for that meal. When somebody does something nice for you, say thank you. Say thank you. Or if you're simply just having a good day, if today is better than yesterday, thank God for it and thank Him in your prayers. Say thank you often and always. So set aside time to be grateful for 3 things. Say thank you as often as you can throughout your day. Number 3, always find reasons to be grateful, even in the worst of circumstances. In going through Hurricane Andrew, I think we were all kind of numb. We were just, plugging along, doing what we had to do. But at the same time, because I have had that attitude of gratitude in my life, I was so grateful for canned tuna, of all things, for my cell phone, for dry places to sleep. Even when you felt a cockroach running across your chest at night, and yes, that happened. But you've got to find a way to, even in the challenging times, find something that you can appreciate about it. So there's some questions that you can ask yourself when you're going through these tough times. First, what valuable lesson can I learn from this situation? I tell you, one of the lessons I learned from Hurricane Andrew is that stuff doesn't matter. I had a storage unit that was completely demolished. I no longer have photo albums and pictures and things like that were in that storage unit. But it doesn't matter. Stuff doesn't matter. So number 2, you can ask yourself, what good thing can come out of this challenge? And I'll tell you, for me, it was relationships with people, my coworkers, my neighborhood. It was relationships. Number 3, how can this difficulty make me a better person? Well, finding gratitude in a difficult situation, that will make you a better person for sure. That'll make you someone people like to hang around with more often. And that is a great question to ask yourself. And then 4th, when you are going through a difficult situation, ask yourself, in 1 year, in 5 years, in 10 years, how will I look back on this situation? What will it look like in hindsight? Because hindsight is 20/20. So these are the questions that can help you identify something good in a situation, even if it's a challenging or terrifying situation like I experienced. So we've set aside time each day to be grateful. We have determined that we're going to say thank you all the time whenever the opportunity arises. And then we're going to ask ourselves these questions. What valuable lesson can I learn from this situation? What good can come out of this situation? How can this challenge make me a better person? And in 5-10 years, how will I look back on this situation? So that's what's going to help you find a reason to be grateful in the challenging times. And then number 4, Live in the moment every day. Living in the moment means being aware and expressing gratitude for everything that comes your way. When you live in the moment, you're thankful in the moment as well, whether it's to the person that you're thankful for doing something nice for you, or whether you're thankful to God. For example, as you go through your workday, can you be grateful that you have a job? Can you be grateful to your boss for supplying, work for you to do? When you sit down to meals, I've talked about this before. It's so important when you sit down to a meal to thank God for His provision of that food. I believe every good and perfect gift comes from God, our Father in heaven. And that's why we say blessings before our meals, is to thank Him for His supplying our needs. Give thanks before you go to sleep at night, for the day, for what has happened throughout the day, for people who are a blessing to you, or people that you were able to help out or be someone who is a blessing. And even when you're doing things like sitting in traffic or waiting in line, instead of getting annoyed and upset with it, try to be thankful in that moment and take that time to do something good, to think of something good, to be grateful for what's going on in your life. And number 5, write thank you notes. Now, with email and text messaging, postal thank you notes don't happen very often, but it doesn't have to be done in a note card or whatever. Although those are great to get, those are fun to get and fun to send as well. But think of ways you can say thank you either by text message, by email, by a message on social media, or by sending a thank you note by the U.S. Postal Mail. That would be good too. So who do you thank? People who have inspired you, people who have taught you something. Think about people who have taught you something and you never thanked them for it, or people who were an inspiration to you. Friends who have helped you through tough times. Reach back out to them and say, hey, I remember that time when we went through Hurricane Andrew, and thank them for the blessing and the working alongside of you, and doing whatever they did to help you through that tough time. And then thank close friends or family whom you simply love. And one of the things that my niece and nephew did when they gave birth to Graylin, my great niece, was they set up an email address for her where we can write to her as she's only, I don't know, 15 months old now, something like that. And we have this email address where we can write to her and tell her things that we're excited about, things that we want to know about her history, things that we're thankful for. And so I just love that we can write Graylin an email where she's going to read it years from now and find out what was going on in our lives while she was growing up. I think that was a cool thing for her to do. So attitude has a lot to do with being grateful and feeling good about life in general. And if you have an attitude of gratitude, you'll be able to enjoy the present moment without any regrets or worries about what will happen next. And so you can also experience more joy when you do these things as well. And the key is having this attitude of gratitude every day. So when those hard situations come along, they are easier to handle. You are more resilient, and you can find the good in them as well. Spend time each day being grateful for everything around you. Don't just recognize something good that happened, but look for the bigger picture and be thankful for your challenges in your life as well, because they do make us better people. They help us to grow and learn. Be grateful in the little things too, and be sure and say thank you as often as you can. When something good happens to you, say thank you right away, and then be thankful later on for it as well. Keep in mind that an attitude of gratitude is for all things, not just the good things that happens. You can be thankful for challenges as well. Living in an attitude of gratitude has many wonderful benefits. Not only will it make you a better person, but it will be a blessing to those around you and help them to be better people as well. You'll feel more content, less stressed. You'll have a stronger sense of purpose in your life. And these are just some of the reasons why embracing an attitude of gratitude is so vital to living a happy and fulfilling life and enabling you to choose joy. So did you enjoy today's tips? I so hope you did. I hope this was helpful for you. I would be grateful if you would post a review on my Facebook page, just to let people know what kinds of things have been beneficial for you as you've watched the videos, especially today for this Joy Tip of the Week. Because if you have an attitude of gratitude, it's going to reflect in your whole life, and even during those challenging times. So I'll post a link to where you can write a review, and I would ask that you take a few moments and write a review and let me know if this has been helpful for you in any way. Thanks for watching, and join me next week, because I know in my heart that you can choose joy.